Hello there, and welcome to the training. Today we will learn how to hook up the Focusrite Scarlett Solo interface and microphone bundle so you can get started with recording your amazing content. First, let's quickly go through the elements that you will find in the package. Let's get started. The first thing, of course, is the microphone. You always know which side is the front that you should be speaking into because you'll see these little symbols, and of course you'll see the words Scarlett Studio. Now, this little doohickey is something that we use to mount it onto a stand. You'll see that you're able to screw in the microphone. You'll see that it should be nice and taut and well connected. Now, there's a piece that may or may not be usable for you depending on the mic stand that you want to use. So if you see this boom mic stand, this clearly can't screw in because of this extra little silver piece. I tried a lot of ways to get it off, and the only way that worked that I could find was the broad side of a butter knife, or the blunt side. I went ahead and used that and put it in the grooves to get it loose, and then from there it's pretty easy to unscrew with your hand. If you need to do this because of sizes with your mic stand, you pretty much won't need that silver piece at all, but I would of course keep it for the future. This enables a pretty easy screw-in process on the mic stand. Now, this mic stand is a boom stand, which means it's mounted on the floor and it's relatively tall. There's also the option to do a table stand. Now, to use a different mic stand, of course, you might need to adjust the actual piece. So you might just unscrew, adjust it, and then screw it back so that it is tight. I'm going to use the table mic stand for the rest of this example, just to show you what it's like. Now, the next piece you want to pay attention to is the mic cable. Okay, this is called an XLR cable. You want to take the female end and make sure that the mic itself is plugged into that end. You want to push until you feel a click. And then you would take the other end of the XLR cable, which is the male end, and plug that into the very first input on your interface. The last plug-in that we want to worry about right now is, of course, the headphones, so that you'll be able to hear what is going on with the interface. The headphones come with an 1/8 inch connection, but you'll need to add the 1/4 inch adapter in order to plug it into the interface. The 1/4 inch adapter is included in the package. You can find the rightmost port and plug it right in there. It's got the headphone symbols for you. The process is nearly done. Now, of course, you need to connect it to the computer. You take the smaller end of your USB cable and make sure not to try to plug it into the top lock. You actually want to plug it in at the bottom where you see a USB symbol. You'll notice that there are right and left line outputs. We won't really need these if you're primarily using your headphones, but those would be used for connecting to external speakers with those guitar type cables. We're going to connect the latter end of the USB cable to the computer you plan to record with. You'll notice that it just lit up. That's because connecting to the computer is the power source. You will never need to plug your interface into like a wall charger or a plug or anything like that. So we're going to now take a look at some of these buttons. The condenser mic needs a power source, so turn on 48 volts in order for it to work. Next, look at the first knob. If it's at 0, you won't hear anything. So make sure the gain is at a healthy volume so that your signal is being read. The air button is something I don't really use, but what it does is it adds brightness to the tone if you don't plan on doing much EQing during the mix. The second channel is for if you were to plug in some sort of instrument with a guitar cable or something like that. You would need to press the instrument button if it is an instrument, and the second knob controls volume there. We're going to leave that at 0 because we're not going to be plugging anything into that right now. Next, make sure the direct monitor light is always on. If not, you won't be able to hear. And also, the monitor knob is the biggest because it's the most important. It's a master volume. So again, we have channel 1 level where your mic is, channel 2 if you have an instrument plugged in, and the overall monitor volume. Remember what each one is for. That will help you troubleshoot any problems you have while recording or trying to hear yourself. Now watch the ring light around the gain button as I do a test. Let's try a clapping sound. When you see that light, it means that a signal is being registered, which means everything has been hooked up properly. Now let's take a quick look at the computer to finalize this process. In GarageBand, I'm going to go to GarageBand at the top left, press Preferences, and go to Audio MIDI. This will let me know if I'm currently using the Scarlett Solo USB as an output and input. Right now, it's the correct input and output, but if it were not, that's where I would change it. If you want to be extra safe, you can set your whole computer system by going to System Preferences and Sound, and then clicking on Scarlett Solo USB as the output, and then doing the same thing for your input. These 2 easy steps will make sure that whenever you're recording, you're not hearing things out of your computer speakers or accidentally recording into the computer microphone or something like that. Well, that's about it. I hope this has been helpful and informative. See you next time.